What's up? What's up? What's poppin'? Hey yo, it's Nate Dogg, 916, coming at you live from Sacramento. Hey man, y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell if you want to keep catching this content, man. First of all, thanks to everybody that subscribes to my channel, watches my videos, man. I appreciate it, man. I really do. And those who make comments, man. Look, let's try to keep the comments positive, man. If you got negativity, man, I'm not looking for no negativity, man. I'm not. But today, let's talk about working. So let's talk about prison jobs, right? So almost everybody in prison got a job. Like, it's almost meant, when I left, it was like mandatory for everybody to either go to school or have a job, right? So you either had to have a job or go to school, right? Yes, that's simple, right? It's not like rocket science. So those were your only two options. You couldn't just not do anything. And they used to give us something called a tab test to test your education level, to where they made sure that you had at least a certain level of education. And if you scored below what they expect or what they wanted, I think it was, unfortunately, I think it was only like sixth grade. If you scored below sixth grade, you had to go into education. That was your job. And if you scored 12.9 plus, that's what I scored, 12.9 plus, then you had to have a job. And in some instances, having a job was a good thing, a really good thing actually, because you want to get out of your cell. A lot of people in prison don't want to just sit in the cell all day, and contrary to popular belief, just going to the yard every day or every other day, depending on what prison you're in, it's not enough. It's not enough time outside that cage, man. Cats is signing up for programs and musical groups and whatever they can just to get out of their cell, man. I know, I was one of them. But you got people that will go to school, go to education, go to work, and work in the satellite kitchen. So satellite kitchen was like almost the first job eligible. So you had satellite kitchen. Now every job got a hustle to it, right? Every job got a hustle to it, if you a hustler, right? So satellite kitchen is when you go work in the kitchens, right? And you make the trays and all that. They go to the inmates in their cells, right? And but the thing about that, the hustle there, is then you can take what food's left over, or take your little noodles or whatever you're gonna do, and like use the steak tortillas they got back there, make burritos or make grilled cheese sandwiches with the bread they got in there and the cheese, and come back and hustle food on the yard, right? Dollar holla sandwich, $1.50 for burrito. You know what I mean? Depending on what kind of burritos they was. Some people might up the price if they put too much of their own stuff in them. So satellite kitchen was a good job to have a hustle, if you were a hustler. And once you got that first batch going, that'll pay for the rest. So you keep it going. Then you had tier tender, a porter. So that porter basically out to sell all day, right? They pop you out in the morning. It's your job to come get the trays, pass them out, do the stuff. It's usually one porter of each race. And then the porter comes out, does the trays, cleans the tier, cleans the showers. But then after that, you still don't have to lock it up. After you're done doing your job, you don't have to lock it up. You just be out all day. The porter be out all day. And the porter can hustle. Because the porter is the person that's out there all the time. You already know what's going on. The good thing about the porter is the porter always can see what's going on. If you got a political minded porter, he's always paying attention to everything that's going on around him. If he hear weapons getting made, he gonna come if he black and he hear weapons getting made by another race, he gonna come let the blacks know, hey, they over there getting down. They getting down over there. or whatever. I mean, obviously nobody shouldn't be making weapons in the middle of the day, but hey, it happens, right? So the porter's an eye job, but you get hella phone access if you're a porter. Porters get hella phone access. So you get to be on the phone dang near all day when there's no program going on. And then I got to a point where level fours, they had took our day room, so we didn't have no day room. So it was just like you got the phone all day long. Then you got yard crew workers, right? Yard crew workers is a good job for somebody that really just wanted to be on the yard all day, because yard crew workers were on the yard all 3 yards. So there's an 8 to 10 yard, 10 to 12 yard, 12 to 2 yard, right? And then the workers will come out, and then they get like from 2 to like 4, or 2 to like 4, because statewide count is at 4:30, I believe, still. So everybody had to be in their cells by 4:30, no exceptions. Then obviously closed custody count is at 8 o'clock. So if you was in closed custody, you had to be in your cell by 8 if you had night day room. If you, because I made it to a 270, we had night day room, but anybody that was closed custody had to lock it up at 8 because they did an 8 o'clock closed custody count. Yeah, I had to lock it up. I was closed custody for most of my time. I was closed custody till 2009, and then I got medium custody. And then that's when I got married and started getting family visits, because you had to be medium custody to get a family visit. But the yard crew workers, the yard crews, they can hustle real good, because they are the people that are out there for every yard. So say you want this to go to that person in that building that he ain't gonna come out, and okay, well, look out for me. I got you. Say less. I'll pass it. But what do I get out of this? Because ain't nothing for free in prison. You know what I mean? Ain't no free favors, none of that. Whatever I'm doing, I got to get cracked off something, right? Okay, so they doing, and they can watch every yard, because they always out there. And yard crew workers, in most prisons, they have a vest, and a lot of people don't be tripping off the yard crew workers racially, because the yard crew workers be moving. But the good thing about that is, say the Mexicans on lockdown or something, right? Yard crew workers, they go all up in that area, or when there's no yard out. There's no yard out, and say there's not no Mexican yard out there, or no white yard out there, or no white yard crew worker out there. Go up there to the area, you know what I mean? Look around, see if you see anything buried or anything like that, right? So yard crew workers, and they always know what's going on in between other buildings and yards, and they get to come let the other cast know. So it's a cool little job. It's a low pay number. All these jobs they top out. All these jobs I'm talking about top out at $50 a month so far, right? Then you got main kitchen, right? You can go work in the main kitchen if you have a main kitchen on the yard you own. And also main kitchen tops out at $50, right? So if you get to the position that's a $50 pay number, then you get that 50. I had the $50 pay number eventually. I started out with a 19-cent pay number, which was like $22 a month or something like that. But yeah, eventually I got to the $50 pay number. So after you got to the $50 pay number, that was like the highest you can go. So main kitchen, you got access to even more better food, right? Because you got the food straight from the source, still when it's raw, and you can get it there, hustle. If you can get it out, if you had a way to get it out, you could charge cool little money for the food. And like in New Folsom on a C facility, they got the main laundry, which is a voc pay number, right? Vocational, right? You're learning how to do a vocation, right? It's a voc pay number, right? Very, very sought after job, right? Very, very sought after job. Because if you work in laundry, you got an actual pay. Like there's dudes that's getting, I think they cap out at the canteen. So whatever the canteen is, that's they cap out. I think the canteen when I left was $220 a month. So just think, the top pay number for regular jobs is $50 a month. In voc, you can go up to $220 a month. You go in full draw every month, right? I don't know. I never been in voc because you had to be medium custody to be in voc. And by the time I got medium custody, I wasn't thinking about no job. I was thinking about going to that family visitor room. I wasn't worried about making no more money. I had money. I was good then. But for somebody that don't got no money and ain't got no hustle, that's the job right there. You ain't got to do nothing. Then you got the, on the yard, you got the laundry room. Now that's a very, 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 very good hustle right there. And it's an easy hustle too. Because basically you just get orders from people in the yard. send in brand new clothes, underwear, t-shirts, socks, and get cash out. Sheets, get cashed out. And all you got to do is wait till their laundry bag come in and send it back to them in their laundry bag. You ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to worry about getting in trouble, none of that. Another one you got is the canteen, working in the canteen. Shout out my homeboy Low. Canteen workers is a good job. Little quick story back in something called Real Consumness Correctional Center here in Sacramento County, aka the Branch. For those of you guys who are from Sacramento, I think in like '92, 92, I was in the Branch, and they made me a canteen worker, so they moved me to M dorm. Everybody who's from Sacramento knows about M dorm. It's the medical dorm. It's all purple shirts, right? But all the canteen workers have to live in that dorm. Every dorm on the honor side in the Branch is specified for specific jobs. So if you're in M dorm, you're working in the canteen, right? They moved me to M dorm. I'm working in the canteen, bro. I'm hitting them every weekend. Every weekend I'm hitting them for like 10, 15 cartons of cigarettes. Every weekend, getting it. Selling them for $5 a piece on the yard. I didn't need nobody to send me no money at that point. I was good. But canteen, Miss Helen, may she rest in peace. That was the C facility canteen lady. She was cool as crap. Like she would work with you. And my boy Low worked in there for a couple years before he paroled. But yeah, canteen could be a good job. I think the pay number there is only $50 too, though. So, but when you get in good with one of them female staff, they be looking out. You know what I mean? Home food. I mean, you might not get rich off it, but you know, home cooked food. They come in with they double lunches. Here you go. Hey, you'd be surprised the things people miss when they incarcerated that actually means something. Bring me some homemade lasagna after I ain't had no real homemade food in 15 years. And you bring me a helping, a small helping. Man, I'm taking little tiny bites. Come on, man. Bring me a real set of barbecue ribs after I ain't had no meat with no bones in it in 15 years. What? Come on, man. I used to love that stuff, man. But that's just a lot of the jobs that you have. Now, a job that I was never fond of and I would never take is a program office clerk. Or you can work in R&R too. R&R, you got to hustle if you work in R&R if you ain't scared to wiggle. You can work in R&R, getting people's TVs and stuff, putting names on TVs for people, all the stuff. You can get a hustle like that. Switch your name for somebody, get cool with your guard, and have the guard like, hey man, I'm gonna just switch this name. Man, go ahead, man, I ain't worried about it. And you got the engraver in the R&R. So that could be a good hustle. But the job I would never take and the job I'm not cool with is the program office clerk. Because it actually says in the Title 15, which is the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, book of rules and regulations. It's called the Title 15. In the Title 15, it says, well, I can't quote because I don't have one right here, but I'll synopsize it. That the program office clerk is an agent for the correctional officers. I'll never take a job like that. I'll never be an agent for a correctional officer, period. So, yeah, that's just a bunch of the jobs that you can get in prison. And you guys are probably wondering, well, why is he talking about all these jobs? Like I said at the beginning, man, people will do anything they can do to get out of their cell. Like, even if it's a 19 cents an hour job, right? $24 a month. Go to chapel. Don't believe in no kind of God. Go to chapel every time just to get out their cell, right? Anything to get out the cell, right? But then they'll come out to this real world and won't do what they have to do to stay out of the cell. Won't get a real job paying real money to stay out of the cell. Hey, man, y'all can listen to whoever y'all want, man. I'm going to just tell you the truth. Stay loyal.